Sometimes you run across a theist who is so completely and totally out of their ever-loving gourd that one of two things have to happen. A, you have to stop looking to save your own sanity, or B, you have to get on YouTube and gripe about it. So here goes the latter. Hey all, this is going to be a pretty quick video because sometimes you just have to rant about the kind of theological stupidity that I come across all the frickin' time. This is hardly the only example I could give because there are piles of these people where I'm going to talk about, but this one just took the cake. So bear with me for a moment while I set this whole mess up. See, outside of YouTube, I've been out on the interwebs for a very, 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 very long time, and one of the places I've kind of hung my hat has been this forum called Debate Politics. I've been a member over there for about 12 years now, and I've got almost 31,000 posts, and primarily it's been a place to debate politics, which is kind of obvious from the name, and religion and social issues and pretty much everything else. Most of the time, it's not a really bad place, but as I've already alluded, there are some serious crazies there, both political and religious, and after a while, several times in fact, I've had to take an extended break just because I couldn't take it anymore. My sanity was going to break if I just hung around there anymore. Having anything remotely resembling a rational discussion with a lot of those people becomes effectively impossible. And so, at the beginning of last year, I took a break. A nearly year-long break. Right before New Year's, though, I got really bored and I decided maybe I'd just peek back in. And no, nothing has gotten any better. It's still the irrational dumpster fire, especially in the religious forums, but being fresh off of an extended vacation, I decided to dive back in, and I quickly realized what a mistake that was. Because I ran into a lot of really asinine theists, some of which I remembered from the past, and some of which are a whole new breed of crazy. And this one guy was new, and maybe the craziest of the bunch. This guy who goes by GFM7175, he's a complete kook, and having any discussion in the same zip code as rationality with him on any topic is seemingly impossible. Now, I really know nothing about him other than he claims to be a 27-year-old guy from Wisconsin, and he's been around just over a year, and he's a complete religious lunatic. And looking at all of the friends on his user page, every single solitary one of them are also religious lunatics that I've got on my ignore list because they're all the same. So that's definitely a pretty bad sign. But this guy, when it comes to religion at least, he's entirely out of his freaking gourd. His defining feature is that he thinks he gets to define reality into existence in any way he deems acceptable. To him. Nobody else matters. It's only to him. And to that end, all sources that he disagrees with are arbitrarily declared wrong. Including little things like dictionaries. Yes, I said dictionaries, because he likes to redefine words on a whim, to tell people that things mean what he wants them to mean, and dictionaries don't matter because, in his words, they represent the quote-unquote false authority fallacy. Anything he doesn't like, anything he doesn't agree with, it's a false authority. The dictionary, all scientific literature, any book by any person he doesn't like, they're all false authorities. And who determines what's a false authority? He does. He's right, everyone else is wrong, so there. Of course, the Bible is a legitimate authority, the only legitimate authority, and everyone has to agree because he says so. But words mean what he says they mean because he says they do, and nobody's allowed to say otherwise or they're wrong. So, I think you can see that this is really just a complete waste of time to bother with. How can you hope to have any kind of productive discussion with someone who's already declared everything they believe to be absolutely and indisputably correct, and anything anyone who disagrees with them says has to be completely and undeniably wrong? It's like trying to debate with a 3-year-old. So, I could see where this was going, and it wasn't going anywhere good, so onto my ignore list he went. I mean, what's the point of even reading what he writes when it's such a complete pointless waste of time even trying to respond? And I said that because, as I observed about this forum, it's all the religious nutballs that are making all the posts. See, they've got this weird system over there entirely to appease the religious. They used to have a single religious forum where anyone could say anything and bad religious ideas could be freely disputed. Then the religious whined long and loud that this just wasn't fair. They needed their own safe space where nobody could ever tell them that they were wrong, and the mods gave in, mostly because I figured they just didn't want to keep hearing it, so they split off a separate theology forum where skeptics and atheists are absolutely not allowed, at least not so long as we ever muttered a critical word about anything remotely religious. Skepticism is against the rules. You can't even go in and point out that the Bible doesn't agree with their religious beliefs. Any disagreement of any kind for any reason is entirely forbidden. So I don't go in there. And then they made a philosophy forum, which honestly doesn't get used much. They've got a theology forum, as I said, where the religious go to hide from reality. And then they've got a main forum, which is titled Belief and Skepticism. And 99% of all posts in that main forum are made by the religious, almost exclusively the religious extremists. Mostly because I think they're trolling and they're trying to get people to get exasperated. Well, I, for one, am no longer playing along, because I can't say what really needs to be said, that these people are a bunch of lunatics. The moderators will go after you if you say that. Disagreeing with them, proving them wrong, pointing out all of their failures, that's all fair game, but it's ultimately pointless. They don't care. They just keep coming back and saying the same thing over and over and over again verbatim. It's why debates with the religious never go anywhere, because these are not reasonable, rational people to begin with. So, thanks for playing, but I got better things to do with my time. And I hate having to say that, because at the end of the day, the religious are just going to proclaim victory anyhow. I'm not opposing them, even though it doesn't get anyone anywhere to do so. Therefore, they win by default. But it isn't like they haven't been defeated, like their ideas haven't been soundly disproven. It's that they can't be honest, that they just can't accept that they're wrong, that their beliefs are unjustifiable. None of that is even remotely possible for them. So it's just a hollow victory at best, proving not that they have better ideas, but that they're just dishonest pricks without an ounce of integrity. But I guess when it comes to winning at all costs, even if it's only in your own head, that's all that matters. Those hollow victories become important. And if that's true, I guess they're welcome to them. So, what do you think? Have you run into theists like that, and how did you handle it? Because more and more, these are the norm, not the exception. These are not the people who even the religious point at and think are ridiculous. At least in this particular forum, this is pretty much all there are. This guy, some insane 70-year-old Jehovah's Witness, an evangelical lunatic named Angel who's maybe about 2 steps this side of our redefining moron, if that. I mean, this is how these people operate, and there seem to be no moderate religious voices coming along to correct them. I'm really starting to wonder if there are any moderate theists on the forum at all. They all seem insane, and they're just getting worse. Maybe this is the result of the invariable move away from religion. The sane people stop believing, the insane people double down. This seems to be the future. I'm really not sure how much of an improvement it is.